This is an informal session. It's a gentle session. So first of all, let's start. Welcome, gentlemen and ladies, young and old, first-timers and regulars. This is the learning battle. What is it, you might ask? It is an open mic. It is the ideal way to share something of your most precious learning moments with everybody in the room. So, why do we organize this open mic? Because we want to start with an engaging session, something where you feel that the heart is in. Not only just professional, no, also the personal is important. Now, as you might have understood, a learning battle means there is some kind of a competition. And the competition there are 4 easy steps for the competition. 1, you raise your hand to make sure that you will be invited to the stage. So let's see some hands. See, can everybody move their hands? Just oh yes, well, there is somebody with a phone. 2 people with a phone. The phone people? Can you, yes, yes. Everything works, I'm happy, now I know. Then I will point to someone who raised their hands and invite them to the stage. This is a safe stage. You have steps on this side, and steps on this side. And apart from the steps, I will be there as well, supporting you as a speaker. Then you are invited, you take the stage, you take the microphone, and you share for 3 minutes your most memorable learning moment of 2025. After those 3 minutes, you have a timer there, so that makes it easy. The floor is open to everybody. And you can ask a question to the speaker, just, to engage, to open the dialogue. The speaker responds. And after that, it's the most pivotal battle moment. I will invite everybody to applaud for that speaker. With this said, of course, we need to make sure the applause meter actually works. Can we do a test? And now to see whether we can break the applause meter. So we have 83. I will count backwards from 3 to 1, a difficult thing for me. And then you can give it your all. Applauding, yelling, stamping your foot, doing whatever makes noise. Okay, 3, 2, are you ready? 1, yes! Hey! Well, you're an absolutely fabulous audience. And this voting will then be meticulously noted by by Rosa. Rosa, please show your face. Hey! The good thing is, you cannot bribe Rosa. You can bribe me. That is why I'm here and she's there. But so, let's start. You can feel it. Anxious moment. Will you do it? Won't you do it? Of course you will do it. Who wants to come up stage for 3 minutes sharing their story? Raise hands. Madam, please, come over. Yay! Please. The timer is there, so you can...
Okay, so hi, my name is Reagan Chestnut. I am from Hope College in Holland, Michigan in the United States. And I think my greatest learning moment is a moment for me, which is I learned to let go of academic perfection when teaching my courses. So I really wanted to make sure that students were able to access their education rather than accessing my expectations of the way that they should be graded. And so we used the technology at our disposal and universal design guidelines to create an addition to our syllabus that allowed students to interact with the class as they wanted to. So we worked with things like minimum viable versions of assignments, so the students could say, just to pass this assignment, this is what I need to do, as opposed to saying, here is the expectation and here's the meter for how you meet it. We're trying to give them tools to success so they don't have to ask for it in advance. And then what I have found is that students who consistently were not finishing assignments and not finishing courses in other areas of our department — I teach in the theater department and work in IT, which is weird — they were completing their courses. They weren't getting A's, because that's not the focus that they had, but they were completing courses and they weren't repeating things. They were able to pass the courses because they had the tools and didn't have to break that barrier of asking us for them. And so letting go of that, my expectation is that you are going to complete this essay, writing it down to the full extent of the academic rigor that we have, and saying, you know what, a video that demonstrates your understanding of this topic and professional standards will be fine to do and to turn in. And then we grade them based on their acceptance of the knowledge and not necessarily what my high expectations might be. So this was a collaborative process of students consistently giving feedback, and so I learned so much through that process about how in the future I can continue to engage the students in getting their feedback. At the end of every class, they gave a feedback card, and some of those cards would say, I'm really tired today. And so I would adjust my next class to give them space to be tired, to perform how they could, to give attention how they could, recognizing that they are going through a lot. And I still have 30 seconds. Do I have to fill the 3 minutes?
You can do whatever. You can even dance if you like, but you
don't
don't
do
have
a little
to.
shimmy, do some improv. No. I think that's what I have to say.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. So, up for the question from the audience. Anyone with a question? Yes. The mic is, yes.
I would like to ask how you felt about it when you thought that you would have to lower your expectations. Did you feel that your standards are compromised?
Initially, yes. Yeah, initially I was thinking, is this going to have the academic rigor that it needs to have? And I was also feeling a little bit of judgment from colleagues of making my class easier, but as we went along, I saw the performance get better from the students and their understanding get better. So was rewarded in the end, but yes, initially very scared about that. Yeah.
Oh, super. Okay, applause meter up. Moment of truth. Applause. Thank you very much. So you see, it's that easy. You have an idea, you come up, you share, and you get applause. How great is that? So now, you can feel it, yes. Will this be me, or will I just wait a little bit longer? Let it be you. Raise hands for those who want to speak. Yes, please, come to the stage.
Okay. First and foremost, my name is Buana. I'm one of the 30 under 30, so I hope that gets me a little bit of a bonus point. Thank you. And the story I wanted to share, so for context, I grew up in Canada, that's the education I came from, very privileged. And then recently, my grandpa, who's also my first best friend and my first ever teacher, passed away, which meant that I had to go back to the Philippines and go to his funeral. In the Philippines, I had to learn how to speak my language again, Tagalog and Bisaya. And I got to really, it was a challenging moment because I have this kind of preconceived notions of what it means to be educated, which meant speaking English. So it almost kind of like a very personal thing, and having to talk to the people around you and start to learn again about your culture and about who you are, I think was a very powerful moment. And recently, I actually spoke to Dana over there, who I told, I really love linguistics because it teaches you about how important language is in forming your mindset and your values. And it just reminded me of how my grandpa used to say that learning comes from people. It comes from within. And therefore, in connection to the theme of this conference about empathy, responsibility, and duty of care, it's important to remember, especially if you come from a privileged situation, to not forget the humanity, to not forget the human, because when it comes to learning, it is very much a social and human experience. I have a minute and 15.
We will go for...
Oh, yeah, questions.
Who has... yes. Yes.
Hi, hello. I just want to say that I expect you to be one of the world leaders in few years.
Thank you. That would be thanks to my grandpa, of course.
Yeah.
Any more questions?
Let us get the applause meter up. Yay! Yes! Thank you very much. It's fabulous, isn't it? All those stories. So, you know the vibe, you know the question. Now, raise hands. Who dares? Please come up. Please come up. Yes, another hero daring to speak. Please.
Hello, good evening. I'm Dr. Revati. I'm representing MKCL India. I am here to share a very interesting idea, which is, we call it as VTFR. It's variable time, fixed result. Ever wondered that we all learn the same plus 10, plus 2, but we score, sometimes 70 plus, 80 plus, things like that. However, the concepts are the same. Everybody has to understand the thermodynamics the way it is. How do we solve this problem? So we tried to solve this problem with technology, and we use the simple method of multiple choice, single correct. Otherwise, it's a very simple thing wherein the probability of getting right is always 25% out of 4 questions, right? All statistically, if you speak. We tried to have 2-stage reasoning, where the first thing is you choose one option. Immediately, the next stage is you are given multiple steps, that out of which steps actually you arrived at this answer. Unless and until you attempt all the steps clear and correctly, you won't be able to exit the loop. It's a recurring loop. So I may take, say, for example, to grasp the concept of, say, 10 minutes. She might take just 5 minutes. But ultimately, we both will understand, how the theory works. So that VTFR perhaps is the solution to solve the biggest problem that we all are facing today, that skilling. The skills have to be perfect, 100% right. So that is the way how we are trying to attempt and solve the problem of large populations who are expected to earn and attain large and lot of skills, but with variable time, but fixed result. I think that is the idea for the future. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I can see the pointer. Thanks. Any questions? I cannot dance,
Questions?
but I'm ready to answer the questions.
Questions? Yes?
How do you ensure people don't get frustrated if they are stuck in it for too long?
Yeah, we thought, in fact, the higher education institutions and the principals of the colleges were actually having a lot of inhibition because the infrastructure would be used for a longer time. That's what they expected. But in reality, the things were different. The students started enjoying it, and the labs which were actually sitting idle, the infrastructure used to sit idle, say after 5 p.m., the colleges would be closed, and the infrastructure would be idle. And the students themselves, came forward and they started using it and enjoying it, because this is a kind of single, kind of silo where nobody is going to judge you even if you fail. Even if you are actually trying and trying and trying for 3 times, 5 times, nobody is going to tag you about your failure. And that's where they start earning their mastery. So mastering a particular skill, that helps. And that's why the principals of the colleges, they started now getting converted that every subject should be taught like this. However, you would all agree that the role of the educator is very important. Designing the questions is the most challenging and most creative job, because you need to have and organize, even sequence your options the way they are expected to be, to challenge the students. And this generation, be it Gen Z or Gen Alpha, they love challenges. Let us all understand and agree on that. I have answered your question, perhaps?
Thank you.
Done? Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
The applause.
Oh my God. I like this technology.
Yay!
Thanks. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Now, we saw 3 women already. So, yes. But now I'll do a little trick and see what happens. If you win the learning battle, you will get a prize. And you will be featured on the magazine of OEB online, a full-length article feature. Can you imagine? Yes. So now, let's see. Who wants to come to the stage? Raise your hands, please. Yes. You, please, come to the stage. And I keep you in mind. Please.
Thank you. So hi, everyone. My name is Jascha. I come from Slovenia. I work at CEF, at an international organization. We work with public officials in Southeast Europe. And before that, I worked in active citizenship, informal education about active citizenship among the youth. But actually, my biggest learning opportunity that I got in 2025 was actually taking these things that I've learned through my work as a facilitator and combining it with my other passion, which is theater. So I have been acting in theater for a long time, in a semi-professional theater. And actually, a few years ago, when I lived in Berlin, I missed it so much that I went into adapting a screenplay into a theater play and translating it into Slovene. It was the film Reservoir Dogs by Tarantino, if you know it. And that was just a fun little activity that I did. But then I got the chance to direct that at my theater. And I went into that with 2 primary objectives, with the facilitator mind of having set goals that you want to achieve. One was to bring into theater more of the concept of getting to know each other before you actually start working. Because I don't know how much you might be involved in arts, but I feel in arts people feel, we are all artists, we're all friends, we can do whatever, no one needs to worry about that. But we actually did put a lot of time in this project into getting to know each other, so they can be then on the stage and act. For whoever has seen the movie, it's, you know, there's violence, there's blood, there's aggression and things like that, but then you can actually do that a lot easier if you know each other. But the other thing that I wanted to achieve was that I've seen so many directors go through the process of creating a play, and I could see it while they were working with an actor, the moment that they gave up on the actor. The moment that they saw, okay, just do it like that, it's fine, we will move on. And I said to myself, I will never do that as a director. I will, you know, give every actor every moment that I can. But then we started working. We had 3 months. We had 4-hour rehearsals every day for 3 months, apart from weekends. At the end, also some weekends, you always have to do weekends at the end, because you run out of time. And I gave up on every single actor at one moment. And that gave me the realization that learning and doing things, it's always about the bigger picture. And we need to make that bigger picture as good as possible to give as much of the time for each individual, but have to, at the end, be happy with what we get. So that's it.
Cool. Nice.
1 second over. Any
second.
questions?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I'm 30 under 30.
Hey!
Bonus points.
Questions or remarks?
That's
Yes?
a good remark. Got
The
thumbs
remark
up.
was this. Yes.
Good.
So,
Or
are
a
you?
question from you? Yes.
Yes. Well, if I.
Perfect.
Is it
Of
okay?
course.
Okay. I love the arts myself. Yes. And I wonder, have you had? Will you take this to your other positions, jobs as well?
Definitely. That's why I considered it a big learning journey, because it's something that I actually now can do in my work, because it's always been completely intertwined.
Yeah.
Being a facilitator comes together with being an artist and all like that, but it's exactly this thought that I now carry into my work and other things that I do. So definitely.
Super.
Yeah.
Thank you. So let's go for applause. Yay! Thank you very much. Can you feel the vibe? Hands raised. Ooh, ooh, there was like rocket launch to Mars. Yes, well, battling who can come first. I love it. Please. As you know, there is a step. This is the safe way in. You can also jump. Please.
Hi. My name is Lily. I'm also part of the 30 under 30 program. And I want to talk about what I experienced the last year, because it was very intense. So I'm starting a company right now with 2 others. So we are out of the University of Leipzig doing a spin-off for a mixed reality platform, bringing remote participants as avatars into the room to have an equal interaction. And it was last year so easy to talk about this vision, and I felt so self-confident. And then, I don't know, just a few weeks, I tried to reflect on that, and I have seen that it's getting harder to talk about it and to feel good being on stage, being on a spotlight, and I asked myself why. And then I looked it up, and I found the Dunning-Kruger effect. I don't know if you know it. It's about if you start learning something, you feel so confident, you're on the top, and it's the, I think, mountain of stupid, because you don't know what you don't know. And then I just see that like it drops very hard, and it feels like I'm at the down at the moment. And that's what my learning is, that it's about being patient about things I don't know, because it just seems so hard to just see every construction signs and what we like don't or didn't do yet. And yeah, to be patient about that, because after the drop, it will get better. And then, I mean, I will never get back to this mountain of stupid, but trying to be an expert and establish myself. Thanks.
Thank you. Any questions or remarks? Anybody who, oh, yes?
I just want to thank you for being as honest about what it feels to ride a cycle that, in fact, every single one of us continues to ride through our entire career. So the cycle that you have described is the mark that you're on the right track.
That's good to hear. Thank you.
Thank you. So now, for the applause. Yay! I love the dances, to be honest, yes. So, just so you know, this evening, when you go to bed, you know, and you lie there, and you think about your day, and you might think, why didn't I take this opportunity to come upstage? It was so easy. Why didn't I? Because those who have spoken before you will go to sleep tonight and think, yes, I was an absolute hero. And it will be true, because those are the heroes who dare to come up here. So just reflect upon that. How do you want to sleep tonight? So, who wants to come next? Raise hands. Yes, please, madam. Please.
Hi, I'm Aruna. I'm a learning experience designer from McKinsey & Company. No, I'm not part of the 30 under 30. And I think it's going to be very different because I'm part of corporate learning, very different from the previous talks that we had. So I love designing digital learning modules, not the compliance ones that you keep clicking next to just to get to the end of. I love creating immersive experiences that lets learner experience scenarios and make decisions, face consequences, and all of that. But here's a challenge, right? These experiences are very hard to design. We take months working with the SMEs, understanding the role, the nuances, and crafting every single detail about the scenario and all of that. And then one single change in the context, the module becomes outdated almost immediately. So I started exploring, is there a way to create these experiences in a more scalable way? And as everyone else is asking themselves these days, I asked if AI could be the answer. So I tried creating a proof of concept module for the skill of problem solving. And this is how I designed it. Instead of writing the content copy for the module, I thought about the skill and figured out what people need to practice, to practice the skill. And I wrote the rules for the module, the rules for the content, the different steps that needed to happen, and all of that, and fed it to the AI system in the backend. And once the learner launches the module and gives the module their role and domain, the module understands that context, takes the rules that I've fed in the backend to create a module dynamically as they go through the experience. So one single module becomes scalable to the entire organization. I don't have to create new modules for every single team that needs to take it. And a couple of major advantages I saw for this was, as I mentioned, it is very scalable. I don't have to create separate modules for every single team. And the second thing is, as a learning designer, I get to design the experience. I still get to control all of the different branching, all of the different scenarios that is involved, just that I don't write the content copy. And AI works within the boundaries that I establish. And the third thing is data. Something that we experience in corporate learning is, for digital learning modules, we only get data regarding completion. We only get to see, have they completed the module or not? But with this kind of experiences, we can actually let AI evaluate the learner responses and stuff and get data regarding how they are thinking, what are they doing with the modules. And then the data is comparable because it is the same underlying module, but people are experiencing it in different ways. The data is still comparable across the organization, and we get to see where people are doing well, where people are not doing well, and where we need to change some things. And I'm not talking about some new fancy AI tool that we need to use for this. This is more about the methodology of design, right? Designing for the skill, the way people think, and what they need to practice to do the skill, instead of focusing on the content first.
Thank you. Any questions? I'm sure you have questions. Yes?
For humans to build onto that to actually do the assessment?
So the AI is at no point acting super independently, right? We create the rules for it. So for the assessment, we need to create rubrics regarding what are some behaviors that are considered good, what are some behaviors that are considered not so good, and what should be the feedback for each of those behaviors. So even before the learner actually takes the experience, in the back end, we already predetermine the rubrics for the assessments.
Thank you. Applause. Yay! Look at this lady. She is now fully in a peaceful mindset. You want to be just like her. You can feel it. Thank you very much. Oh, yes, I see a hand before the question is posed is a dream come true. Please, hello.
A lot of you might know me from last year. I was 30 under 30. I'm now back as a speaker.
Woo! Yay!
I am only in stage because I heard a fellow 30 under 30's problem, which is about spinning off. And I dropped out of school when I was 12. My parents are academics. They tried to spin off. My dad's a quantum physicist. He developed some really cool laser to detect cancer early in ovarian cancer, but it never made it to the market. And that had a lot to do with the terms university environment, but also a lot to do with the fact that researchers don't make the best entrepreneurs. So the problem we're solving, in essence, is a lot to the Dunning-Kruger effect, where you have researchers that have a little business knowledge, but they overestimate what they know, so they tend not to bring in a business personnel. You got people, researchers who don't have that much knowledge, and they're like, wow, we can benefit from business personnel to help commercialize. And then you got researchers who are more advanced, who have a decent amount of business knowledge, and they can still benefit from a business personnel. So what we do, essentially, is we find the top technology from universities around Europe and match them with serial entrepreneurs, so entrepreneurs who have built, exited, made billions, and now want to make impact. And we use sports team coaching from sort of Olympic athletes to help them become high-performing teams, because researchers and entrepreneurs are two different worlds. And a lot of the universities have tried years after years after years trying to get researchers to become more entrepreneurial, but why don't we allow researchers to be great technical minds that they are and bring in a business personnel? That's what we do in essence, and then we, of course, fund the startup that is created out of it. That's called Deep Pioneers. We put 5 million onto this. It's a complete hypothesis. Ask me in 2 years what that's worth, if it works out. But if you're a university that's working with researchers and want to increase commercialization, I recommend bringing in a business personnel. It can go a long way. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any question? Yes.
Thanks for your contribution. What I was wondering is, shouldn't we change the competences of the competences of education of researchers and the competences of education of business people, so we foster that business people become more interested in research and development, and researchers become more interested in business and commercial things.
Well, you say should, but I'm telling you, universities have been doing it for the last 10 years. They've been training researchers to become more entrepreneurial. Billions are going into accelerators, universities, bureaucrats running to become research more entrepreneurial, and the other way around. What's the research production of Europe compared to US? I'm sorry, but we're nowhere near. You can do that, right? Clearly not working. But the answer, again, is the Dunning-Kruger effect. People underestimate what they can do and what they can't do. Happy to take one more question.
To reflect on what the gentleman said before and what one of the other under 30s said about the Slovenian guy, about letting these people communicate with each other, getting to know each other, because the productivity level and efficiency, I'm sure, would increase if they don't look at each other like, oh, it's just a business-oriented guy or just a tacky square head. So I don't know if you have any insight into that, but that would be my bet.
But I can tell you already, we've worked with top ventures, top 10% of Europe. That is 10 ventures with Max Planck, Fraunhofer, ETH Zurich, Oxford. So some really, really great minds. And what we've seen is essentially the researchers, they level up into what actually the market needs. It's very tough for a research mind to understand how to be more commercial, like commercial minded in that sense. And that is not about education only, it's also about the mindset, and that takes ages and years to explore. But if you put them with the right people, and that in this case is a serial seasoned entrepreneur, and there's very good research on it, I can quote it, you can come to me afterward, I can give you data sets for those academics here that proves it. Learning by doing, they learn it way faster. And the research commercialization rates peak by at least 10x. And that's data that proves that. So yes, essentially they are learning. Research are learning business, but they learn way better when they have a counterpart, a co-founder who is a commercial-minded personnel. And then vice versa as well. So instead of wasting another billion EU Horizon funding and whatnot, and grants that go around in Germany, to be very honest, that exist and whatnot, we can actually take this route to increase it, to reduce and reroute that money to more commercialization and pilots, potentially. That's what I have to share. But do get back to me in a year and ask me how confident I still am, because it is a hypothesis, and we've just run our first pilot, which has been proven to be pretty successful. Cheers.
Thank you. The applause meter. Thank you.
Clearly, you can see I've done this before, so I know how that works.
Thank you. We're almost there. This is, oh, yeah, perfect. Yes. Please come over. Please come over. Yes. Oh, yeah, please.
Hi, everyone. My name is Claudia. I'm from South Africa, representing Northwest University. I am part of the 30 under 30, so the students I teach, some of them are literally my age, so that's kind of weird, because they call me auntie, and then I'm like, dude, we're the same age. But anyways, the theory that I learned this year, which I want to share with you, and the reason I want to share it is because my biggest challenge at this conference is that we're so different. I told the 30 under 30 cohorts earlier, like, I'm an accountant. How do you know someone's an accountant? They tell you. but I'm in, but I'm in higher education. And then somebody else is part of 30 under 30, but they're in design engineering. Our worlds are so different, so we're trying to find how can we both benefit from this conference in the same manner. And one thing I want to share with you is I think you can benefit from this theory. It's called the let them theory. So there's a book on this. It was written by Mel Robbins. And basically what it is, and what I'm applying literally in my personal life, professional life, you can use it if you're trying to sell a product, you can use it when you're trying to teach someone. You need to make the other person think that they're in control. So basically an example of that is, we have this thing for class attendance. We give a student 5% if they just attend most of the classes. They are in control of attending classes or not attending classes. They get the 5% if they attend, they don't if they don't attend class. It's the let them theory. You let them decide. With selling a product, it's the same concept. There's two things that you need: easy to use, perceived usefulness. You let that person decide how easy is it to use and what can I benefit from this product. I applied that in my education because initially I was like, you will do this and you will understand. But then I took a step back and I asked them, tell me, why do you not understand? So I'm giving away the control because most of our energy is spent on trying to control others, but actually stepping back and listening, tell me, why do you not understand? You let them be in control. And that was my biggest learning this year, and I think everyone can apply that. Let your audience be. Okay.
Great.
Questions? Questions.
We let you be, so prove her right.
I'm letting you ask me a question. Okay, cool. Thank you. Oh, question. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, do you want to come up or do you have a question?
Oh.
So, how would you create a safe environment in order that everybody could be or let be in a respectful way, you know, respecting differences?
A safe environment in my everyday life is our students has the choice of either raising their hand in class. I tell my students, like, you can say anything to me, I won't be offended, and you can say it in front of anyone, I literally don't care. You let them have their own opinion. So they can either do it in a public space, or you give them the option saying, listen, send me a WhatsApp if you want to come talk to me alone. So it's just giving them that choice of saying, I'm available wherever you feel comfortable in telling me what you need to tell me. Yes.
Sorry, my hand was just a little bit faster there. My question is, so duty of care.
Yeah.
Where does duty of care come in when it comes to letting them be? So how do you decide, you know, yes, I'm letting you be, I'm giving you this autonomy, and then kind of those moments where you have to step back and understand your duty of care as an educator, of intervening at certain moments. How do you make that decision, and how do you kind of marry those two so that you're still giving them the autonomy but recognizing your duty of care as an educator?
Statistics. So basically, by allowing someone to decide whether they want to come to class or not, and then at the end of the year actually showing them you didn't get the 5%, so you're failing the module, that's where you intervene, and then next year I promise you they will start attending class. So statistics and facts. If somebody tells you that they don't understand a concept, you ask them, but did you study? And then they'll say no, and that's where you intervene and say, you have to come to class, you make tutorials mandatory, because you can prove it in education by showing them their actual marks. So you still care, you still let them decide to come to class, you let them decide to consult, but you have the backup of telling them, listen, you're not passing, you're clearly missing something. So I always say, just take out the emotion, when you need to intervene, take out the emotion and focus on the facts. Otherwise, it can become very personal. Okay.
You want? Yes, yes, please.
All right. So, great idea. I was wondering, I mean, since life is occasionally not a forgiving thing, I mean, we don't often get the opportunity to let it be in our life. I mean, sometimes we don't have the selection, the option to select. And you need to align this idea, which is a wonderful idea, with their adult life in the future. How do you align those two ideas, their future, in which they will be required to do things that they won't often like?
To do it.
How do you do that?
I think it's just to basically yourself try and embody excellence. I had this conversation with my parents the other day, and the whole question was, I'm going to get a tattoo, and if you want to be disappointed, I'm going to let you be disappointed. And then my mom said, but you must also have something called common sense. So I think it's just by, when you try to teach the theory, try to embody excellence by saying, I made my own choices in life. I decided to study accounting, and I decided to study hard. So look at me. I have my dream job. And through you, that they can see by using your common sense, following the rules, they still think that they're in control, but they look at you and they get the idea of that's success. She made her own choices, but she made the right choices, and that's where she is. People must still feel like, I make the choice, I have the decision, but looking at somebody else, she didn't get a tattoo and now she doesn't regret not getting a tattoo, for example. That's how people follow. We don't force, you embody excellence yourself, and then you let them decide if it's the better option. But sometimes people just also don't use their common sense. Okay.
Wonderful.
Okay.
So, time for applause. Yay! Thank you very much. Yes, please come to the stage. Oh, and I saw your hand, in your hand, okay. Come back to you. I love you all, please. What I like here is that we have something in common. Gray hairs. An applause for the gray hairs. But I'm obviously the older, which is why I work like this.
Who are you? This question I got 2 hours ago when I was sitting with a lovely crowd of people, and I said, I am Shahira, as in saying, don't you know? I sometimes grapple with this question, and these days a little bit more than any other time, because as I heard a colleague defining me the other day when she was introducing me to a new colleague, this is Shahira, she works here and she is a singer. Everybody laughed, and then she said, well, she's not paid for that, but she's a singer. This morning when I arrived, I told the girl at the reception, it's so lovely to be back here. And she says, do you know your way around? And I said, well, I've been coming here for 16 years, so I'm not the newcomer anymore. And then, in general, in my job as an instructional designer, I do ask the question, who are you? But this time it's not about me. It's about the people I try to design courses for, I try to design learning experiences for. And very often I don't get the chance to get that response. Why? The kind of job I do, my first contact audience are the teachers, very important. So I sit down with them and we talk about what we think is important for our dear students. Now, that is the way that things have been done for many, many years. From time to time, I rebel and I say, can I come talk to your students? Some of them would say, of course, yes, but what would you like to talk to them about? I was like, just what we just did here. And then they become reluctant. Very long story short, I can, at the end, find a way to sit down with a few students and ask them the question, who are you? I won't get the straight answer because they're thinking, oh, are we going to do philosophy now? Is this about our identity? What I'm saying here is that, and in accordance to the theme, humanity in a digital age, we very often don't spend the time asking ourselves who we are or what we designed for something or courses who they are, because we forget to do that. And what I'm encouraging everyone, whenever you get the chance to reflect upon this or get the question, don't answer something obvious like, don't you know who I am? Or list your competences or skills. Just go into, lean in the conversation, and maybe the results will surprise you.
Yes. No, please.
By asking who we are as us, you, mine, or as I?
Well, what I tried to explain is that the question was asked to me, but I try in my work to design things that are of value, and so I need to ask the people who they are, not only as students, but also, the context. It's sometimes a luxury situation, but the more you take space and the more you make time for that, the better you are designing something so their learning experience is meaningful. I know for many of us it's a luxury situation, we don't have the time for that, but I encourage everyone to find the time for this.
Thank you. Applause.
Oh.
Thank you. So I saw several hands moving up. In the person in the back, do you want to take the stage as well? Or yes, and I will come back to you with the striped. Yes, later on.
I'll take the stage.
You're so right to do so.
Thank you. All right, I did not prepare anything, and we also walked in a little later, but I wanted to share something anyway.
Yeah.
So I wanted to tell a little story about what a Dutch national bank, a children's assistance hotline, and a technical company who creates flow instruments have in common. And also how I thought about improving or kind of tough e-learning module about data classification, because data classification is not necessarily a fun topic, but it is important to our company to keep our data safe. Also, I forgot to introduce myself.
Yes.
I'm Femke, I work at Bronkhorst, and we create flow instruments. So I was looking for new software to work with, and I saw a wonderful idea coming along in the previews from a Dutch bank about how they wanted to help people learn about how to keep IT security, how to keep it safe. Also, I got a little nervous, but that's okay.
That's okay. I will stand closer.
Oh, thank you.
It's good. It's good.
I'll take a breath.
Yeah.
So I saw their idea and I thought, wow, that's really cool, but I don't have this software. I don't know how I can make it. But I kept the idea in my mind. And I was working on this data classification module, and we got feedback that it was not clear how people could apply it in real life. And I thought, whoa, I saw this example from this Dutch bank where people had to sound the alarm in the moment they saw something that was not helping their IT security. And then I went to an event at the Articulate Storyline User Days, where someone from the children's hotline was, and she was talking about the drama triangle and how they teach volunteers to work with that, how to recognize it. And they used an alert button. So they played a video or an audio, and people had to sound the alarm when they heard it, or when they saw something that was from the drama triangle. And I was like, well, if she can do it, then I can do it, because she did it in the software I use. And what I wanted to, where I wanted to lead with this story is I encourage everyone to look for inspiration in places you don't find, because I certainly was not expecting to find inspiration from a children's hotline as someone who works with at a technical company who creates flow instruments.
Yeah.
So.
Wonderful, thank you. Good. Good. Questions, additions, remarks? A thumbs up, double thumbs up? Yes, multiple double thumbs ups. It's clear. Then we go for a warm applause.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Please, yes, the person with the striped sweater. Happy to see you, please.
Happy to see you as well. Hello, I'm the person with the striped sweater. No. Keanu. I'm also, thank you, 30 under 30. Over the past year, I've learned how to change my brain's reward system. And unlike most of you, I grew up with a phone, a Wii, a PlayStation, an iPad, and a computer since I'm only 21 years old. And for context, I used to be very addicted to playing video games. Like you, for example.
You!
I used to skip school. I used to come home and start playing. I used to play 5, 6 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And after a couple of years, once I got to a teenage, when I was 14, 15, it changed. I started smoking weed, drank alcohol, got into women, and that sort of was a thing that got my brain really hooked. I loved this adrenaline rush and this dopamine rush of all these different things. But over the past year, it hasn't really been video games or anything like that. It's been academic work. Through systems like Monday or like these self-organizing, what do you call them, programs.
Yeah.
They have the system where you can press in progress, not ready, and finished. And it was such a rewarding feeling whenever I could put the task is done. So I kind of changed my brain into this whole new wave where whenever I pressed done, I got the same dopamine rush I got from smoking weed or playing video games. And over the past year now, it's gotten to the point where I've learned coding, I've learned how to play tennis, I've learned how to talk to strangers, and it's been a great feeling. So that's what I've learned over the past year. Thank you.
Wow. Yes, additions, questions? Yep.
All right, so I'm not sure that other youngsters would resemble you to the extreme like you just described, but I mean, I more than suspect that you can provide a valuable insight for youngsters that are experiencing the same thing. What would you suggest, I mean, to a teenage that, let's say, spend his whole hours in front of the PS5 and neglects his studies? What would you suggest for him or her in order to put him or herself in the right tracks? I mean, is it necessarily the academics?
It could be anything. It could be academic work, it could be sports, it could be even playing video games could be fine. If you're doing something that is helping other people through video games, there's a lot of influencers nowadays that play and then they talk about life. And 50,000 people, 100,000 people watch their videos, and if you want to be that, then sure, be that. I mean, you don't have to be the most inspiring person or the next philosopher. You can just be yourself, and I hope I'm answering your question correctly.
I'll be honest. I mean, my boss is sitting here. So I'm also a video gamer. And yeah, exactly. And yes, so I'm wondering, how do you see the borderline between the good video gaming and the not so bad, not so good video gaming or bad video gaming? I mean, where this borderline goes according to your perspective?
Well, when it gets to the point of skipping class or neglecting your friends or your family, then of course that's problematic. If you come home and you play for an hour, let's say Call of Duty, a game where you shoot people, and you don't become aggressive after playing the game, then that's fine, I would say. You could also play chess, for example. That's like a video game, maybe. But I don't think I'm the one to decide. I think everyone has to decide for themselves. It's very personal, how long you play and how addicted you get. My brother, for example, he could play every day, but then the next week just quit entirely, whereas I couldn't. So you have to find out for yourself. I mean, I'm too young to to tell the world, yeah.
Thank you. Applause! Yay! Woo! Thank you, Kian. So yes. Please. He was first, and I will, and then you, and then, oh yes, Keanu, you inspired people. They are on fire now. So, please, thank you.
Hi, my name is Dr. Ibrahim Adedayo Adediran from National Open University of Nigeria. I was actually here last year, and my presence here actually transformed my thinking, my approaches, and the lives of so many others there in Nigeria. And what is that idea about? The idea, I happen to be a counselor and a lecturer. I read counseling psychology from University of Ibadan, first degree, second degree, and third degree. I now discovered that it seems people are now undermining the need for counseling. And as such, it's affecting students generally, especially in open and distance learning institutions like the one I came from. Imagine a school where we have about 500,000 students, and at present, only 230-something happen to be active. What happens to the remaining more than half? Then the question starts. What happens to them? I discovered that there is need for counseling intervention right from the beginning. To answer, number one, a question that was raised by someone the other time. Who are you? I discovered that the students need to know who they are before entering the school, so that they will be able to come in not for just anything, but something that they will do that will make them excel in life. So, summarily, when I came here last year, I presented a paper on awareness and utilization of AI tools for administration in our public secondary schools in North Central Nigeria. I discovered with that analysis that the awareness was very low, let alone talking of utilization of those tools. I now looked inward, that what can I do, even as a counselor, to increase the level of awareness, to increase the level of utilization, and to better the lives of the people. Then I worked with a friend in the United States of America between last year and this year to develop an app, a counseling app that will perform basically these three functions. Right from the beginning, before you enter, we'll conduct a kind of assessment, personality assessment test on you to diagnose you and analyze you so that we can place you aright and you choose your own career of interest. That really helped the students when it was introduced. We equally moved further to working on them to retain them and make them maintain and sustain their studentship. And I want to tell you that the attrition rate that was very high is now really coming down, and students are maintaining their studentship till they finish their program. And finally, the app is also useful in helping them to choose where to belong in the labor market so that they are not just learning. Education without application is a meaningless acquisition. So there is need for this counseling intervention, and it has come to stay over there. And that is the motivation for coming this year again to showcase what miracle this app has been doing and to launch it out so that others can actually benefit from it. Our learning management systems need integration of functional e-counseling and an app like this to actually continue to help studentship generally, not only in Africa, but wherever they can make use of it. On this note, I want to say that the instrument has been very, very useful, and this conference has been so inspiring and motivational. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, please wait. Additions? Questions? When can we see the results of the app? Oh, this one. When can we see the results of the app?
Tomorrow after my presentation.
Applause! Yay! Thank you. Yes. So the speaker reception will be at what time is it? It's 7:30. But of course it is almost 7, so we have one. The bidding begins. But can I take the first arm raised in the last moment, which was actually the person behind you? Is that okay? Yes? Yes, the last speaker, the one who will sleep well tonight. Oh, yes. Please.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Tebogo, and actually this is my first time at an international conference. A little bit nervous, but I think we will do well. So I'm from the South African Qualifications Authority from South Africa. So basically my area of specialization is in data management and analytics. So I love data, and I love bringing insights from the data and be able to give my CEO, Nadia Starr, some insights to be able to make informed decisions that are very strategic and influence policies within the qualifications space. So as SAQA, we are the custodian of the NQF, the National Qualifications Framework. And so we are doing a lot of things, and one of the things that we are doing now with part of the data is to look at the achievements that we receive from there and be able to influence our people that fund qualifications to say that yes, there are people going into Bachelor of Arts and they are graduating, but actually they are not getting employed. Where should you be directing your finances? You know, as much as people, they are interested in passion, but we really need to look at what is it that is trending in the market. You know, I am a trader myself, and if you're going to trade against the market, you're going to lose your money tremendously. So we really need to push what is it that is trending in the market, what are the skills and occupations in high demand in the market now, and be able to influence people to be able to make right and correct career choices so that they can be able to benefit the economy at large. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes? I will just, was there? Yes. Yes, please.
Actually, I have a suggestion for next year.
Yes?
The excelling inquirer, or the excelling person that asks the most beautiful questions.
You're good.
But anyhow, I mean, from theme to theme, I mean, we are nowadays debating about the disappearance of professions due to the AI and this revolution. And occasionally I hear about positions that are disappearing or roles that disappear from the industry. And those people are promising that new positions or new roles will emerge. Quite honestly, I still don't see them. And how can you navigate? I mean, how can you exploit the insights from the data that you are mentioning in a reality that is so obscure? I mean, what are we doing here, essentially? Okay?
All right. This is for me. I think a wider consultation is very important to have consultations with industry and understand industry expectations and where the industry is heading. And so as custodians of qualification, but also it talks to institutions to be able to influence institutions to develop qualifications that are relevant to the industry needs. And hence on Friday, we'll be talking about micro-credentials and how do we utilize that aspect to be able to upskill and reskill the people within industry to be able to meet those industry needs.
Okay. Thank you. So now, a other question.
Right. I think you've started talking about micro-credentials, and I think maybe you can just share with the audience the role of SAQA and what they play in micro-credentials and what we do in South Africa regarding micro-credentials, referring to the PUMISA project of the potential of micro-credentials in Southern Africa.
Okay. Yeah. Yes, we have a session on Friday on that, so that will be unpacked during that session.
Okay. Then, for the applause. Yay! Thank you. So now, of course, for the well, the winner is, we forgot the slide. Now, for the winner of today, conferring. Any bribes? This is the last moment we bring. No? Okay.
Because at the beginning it was this Filipino winning, but then the real winner has been this Kiano.
Yeah. Okay.
Then we had also,
But we will. Yes.
How you announce, but you say we have this learning of the reward.
You do know, she doesn't know I have the mic on.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. But then, I will mention the winner, if that is okay. Yeah. Rosa also believes in highlighting everyone, which I agree with. Yes, but yes. So I will just announce. And are you ready? Sorry, but that's, yes. For reading, I need to take off my glasses. Smart one. Right, looking back at the, here. So, the winner of today is, drum roll, hoping the name is right, Poina from Philippines? Yes, yes, hey! Oh, both with, and Keanu, yes! It was indeed a tie. I'm really sorry for the tie. Now, this will be a very interesting feature article. So, wait. Let me reveal. Oh, I will give you the. Please. Wait a moment, because we will take pictures of you. Let me reveal the prize first. Is it a car?
Oh, I hope so.
Is it a plane? Keanu hopes so. It is a cup. The Learning Cup, please.
Do we get custody?
Custody, yes. Please come here on the stage. Put it up high. And for the, yes, yes, yay!
Awkward when it gets quiet.
Yeah, yeah. Yay! Oh, that's a good one. So, thank you very much. And Rosa, you'll be in touch with both, so give your emails to, oh, but she has them. Yes, of course. She knows everything. So thank you very much, and wishing you good luck with the picture and the article. And for all of you, thank you very much for your contributions.